Hey, 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 happy Saturday. It's another edition of Soulful Saturday Conversations, and welcome to today. I am in a tender sort of mood today. Today was the celebration of life for my dad this morning, who transitioned earlier this year, and I made the personal decision to um, have a celebration of his life today. Saturday. This is the weekend of Thanksgiving. Dad was always here. Well, at least he was here for the past, I don't know, 8 years or so. He would come and visit us here. So couldn't think of a better day to celebrate him. So not sad, just tender. Yes. So welcome. Hey there. I see you. I think that's Kamal or Brian. How are you? Welcome. I'll wave. Welcome to my Soulful Saturday conversation. Today we are going to be talking with the amazing Lisa Zunzanyika. And Lisa is, hey Lisa, I see you join. Now you should be getting a message that says request to be joined to come into my video. Yes. And I was just talking about you. Lisa is a photographer extraordinaire in my life. And I couldn't think of a better person to talk to today. And that is simply because, well, a number of reasons, but also Lisa knew my dad. And in fact, a couple of years ago, she came out and did a photo shoot with us. And I'll let her share that story. But she's just an amazing photographer. And so as we wait for her to come in, I invited Lisa on because, as you know, every Saturday I talk to people in my circle. Hey, Lisa, I see you there, but you're not live. I'm waiting for you to join live. I know you hear me talking about you. You should have gotten that message that says request to be in my video, which you did, but then you have to join. Okay, so you can try it again if you need to, or you're unable to join. I saw that. Let's try it again, Lisa. See if you can try again, okay? Because you are the guest. You're in the guest chair today, so we got to get you on here. So you can sign back off and come back in. But Lisa, just a little background on her. She is an amazing photographer, first of all. She's a beautiful human. Um, Professionally, in her career, she served in the United States Air Force. She was actually a combat photojournalist, which is like, whoa, she used to jump out of airplanes taking pictures and all that good stuff. Here we go. So you sent the request. I'm going to go live with you again, Lisa. Hopefully you will come on this time. And she just has a heart of gold and an amazing eye. Yes, and I see you coming on, Lisa. So I want people. Yes, you're here.
Yay!
I knew you could do it, girl.
Okay. Woo.
Woo.
That was a bit of a journey.
Yes, it was, and this is since it's your first time, I know, and this happens to people, but it's totally fine. I'm loving these Saturday IGs, and I love just the experiences that I'm able to share. I was sharing a little bit about you, just in terms of what an amazing photographer you are, just a beautiful human you are,
Oh,
and just professionally your service to the military and how you've served the country as a combat photojournalist, which is a super dope job to me, like jumping out of planes and taking pictures, and just what an amazing eye you have. So yeah, so this is Lisa, everyone. Isn't she beautiful? I just love this sister. And she also knew my dad, so it was special to me, Lisa, to have you on today, since today was the celebration of his life. And I just want to tell the people, like, do you see this cape I'm wearing now? Lisa, can you please show yours? So this was not planned, right?
no, it was not.
This was not, and
We're totally twinning.
girl, but I so love it, right? Like, this is a beautiful, look at this thing we have here going on. This is so, right. So cool. So you definitely are the one to be in the guest chair today. So why don't you tell everybody just who you are, from your own perspective. Just share a little bit about yourself.
Oh, well, hello, everyone. As Kamiko says, my name is Lisa Zuzanyika, and I am a retired U.S. Air Force combat photojournalist, and I bear the distinction of being the first Black female photojournalist in Air Force history. And that's a distinction I wear proudly. One of the things from my Air Force career that still stays with me today is the service of mentorship. I love mentoring aspiring or even established photographers, because, you know, we all need a little help from someone, right?
Yes.
And, you know, when they instilled this gift in me, they let me know it is not mine to keep, but to pass on. And so that's one of the joys I'm experiencing in my retired life.
In retire, girl, you do not look like you could be retired. You're too young to retire. No, this is retirement in 2020. This is what it looks like.
Retirement of a sorts, yes.
Yes.
This is so, you know, we're in the pandemic, and after I retired, I started a freelance photography company called Simply Z Imagery, and I have a studio space that I share with 6 other amazing photographers in the West End.
Mm-hmm.
And I was fortunate enough to be able to create some beautiful imagery there. And then boom, the pandemic hit us. And that was a showstopper for me, because I have several underlying health conditions that put me at risk. So I had to shut down my studio operations, if you will, and come up with a pivot. And a pivot that kind of limited my contact with others, just to, you know, keep myself safe and others safe, my clients safe. And so on March 13th, I made the conscious decision to begin to create. And not to say that I wasn't creating before, I was, but I wasn't creating for me, right?
Mm-hmm.
I love supporting my clients. I love making profits, of course, but I do this because I love photography and I love the creative process. So again, on March 13th, I started creating just for me. And out of that spawned a new visual direction, a new business, a new company, which I've titled Amplified Whispers Fine Art. And I specialize in fine art wall decor for your home or business. Mm. And the reason that I created it is whenever I was looking for artwork for my own home, or if I happen to be out and about and I was noticing artwork, whether it was in a retail establishment or just while out shopping, I never saw art that really made me want to have my house. Do you know what I mean?
Yes,
and I do. I needed artwork that spoke to me. And so that's that line of Amplified Whispers in Art is I create artwork that speaks to you. So that for opening.
That's a hell of an opening. That's pretty awesome. And I do agree with you, right? Like art is this thing that has to speak to you. You know, my dad, he was a lover of art, and he always said that. You know, I have some of the art that he gave us hanging in the house, and so I love that. I love several things that you said. Just that, you know, you had to make a conscious pivot in terms of how you were going to serve your community, your clients, but still also keep your love what you do, right? Like, because it wasn't like, oh, okay, I'm going to go look for a job now. It's like, okay, what am I going to do here? And I think that's brilliant that you made that pivot. And I'm just like, that is once again your creative eye, right? That in turn, like, just to be able to see that, to know that, and then act on it, I think is just super dope. So I love that about you. I love that. You know, we met through a mutual friend of ours, Jen. And oh, okay, I have an original. Okay, who's that? The Fitness Wellness Bully says she has an original piece from Lisa, and it's beautiful. Yes, keep creating.
Oh,
isn't that beautiful? And I say the same thing. Like, I have had the privilege
for someone.
Yes, I have the privilege of having your work in my hands and owning some of your creative talent myself. Some of your imagery, and it's just it's amazing, and it's a blessing to me. And as I was saying, we met through a sister friend Genevieve, who's just another amazing. So I'm gonna get her on here too. One day she's gonna be in the guest chair. But Genevieve wanted to have a photo shoot because at the time for the yoga studio that we worked out of, and Lisa was. You can't hear me? Oh my! What is happening? Make sure, are you able to hear me? Let's see what's happening. Try your phone, Lisa, because I can see you, but I can't hear you. No. Okay. So the fitness wellness bully and anybody else that's on, if you can hear me, can you just comment so we can know? Because I'm getting freezing from Lisa here. I don't know what's happening, but I want to make sure that we can still hear her. Lisa, if you cannot hear me, just join, just rejoin. I'm gonna um, take you out and then put you back in. Yes, let's see. Can we hear Lisa? No, we can't hear you, Lisa. Technology. I think technology is overworked, y'all. Mm. I can hear it. Yes. Thank you so much. I think Lisa's freezing. I'm going to have her jump back in. Can't hear Lisa. Yes. She was saying she can't hear me. So I'm going to let her go off. Thank you so much for sharing that for me. But as I was saying about Lisa, and hopefully she'll be able to join us back again. We met through a mutual friend who is a fellow yogi. I am a yogi, and we were doing a photo shoot. And Lisa and I just made this instant connection, and we've just been friends ever since. She's done several pieces of work for me that I have been blessed to have. She's been on a retreat with me. She's come out here to some of my one of my fall by the fire, the yoga series that we do outdoors. And just for people's information, just for your information, this conversation this Saturday, hey Jerry, this Saturday conversation that we do was born out of our Soulful September Saturdays, which was a yoga event that we created here during this pandemic. You know, you heard Lisa speak about having to pivot and what she did. So for me, being a yoga teacher for many years and having been teaching, having had taught in the indoor space forever, right? I never really taught classes on a consistent basis outdoors. So September was National Yoga Month. And so we just decided that we're going to try this. You know, how can we serve our community? How can we continue to build and engage and connect with people in doing what we love? And we ran a series in September called Soulful September Saturdays. It was an outdoor yoga event, which was really beautiful. And let's see, Lisa's coming back. There she is. Let's come on back, Lisa. And it was just beautiful. And then we continued that on after September. We did a fall series where we did live fire. I see you coming back, Lisa. There you go. You're back, girl. Yeah, you did it.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Wowee.
Yeah.
We must remain flexible, right? We must remain flexible.
Right. And so, you know, as I was sharing about,
Everything was
yeah, like how you were here at the fall fire yoga series and the beautiful pictures, which I haven't shared yet. I wanted to speak with you first before I even shared those pictures. But I will tell you, speaking of
oh,
yoga, yes, yoga is the reason why I'm not screaming in this very moment, like, what the hell is going on? Because technology, right? Because we don't control technology. And quite frankly,
at all.
there are going to be things that happen, and you know what? It's going to be all right. We're just going to keep on going and flowing. And it's not that we act like it didn't happen. We acknowledge that it's happening, but we're not going to allow it to control our response. We're going to react. We're going to respond versus reacting like, oh my God, what is happening? You know, I'm not. It's like, cool. I know you'll come back, and here you are, back again, beautiful.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. I had to practice some box breathing there. Let me tell
Yes. So I was sharing about, Lisa, how you and I met, and we were able to make like when I think we just developed an instant connection like right away, right? Would you say?
immediately. It was like our souls recognized one another, you know?
Yes. Isn't that amazing that, you know, it is about the soul. It is the soul's work. So I wanted to ask you how you got into combat photojournalism, because that's pretty, like, I don't know anybody, and I'm sure there's some out there, but not only a combat photojournalist, but the first African-American female combat photojournalist. How did that even happen? Please share your story.
In a lot of ways, I wish I could say I chose it, but photography chose me. I knew since sixth grade that I wanted to join the military. At the time I was living in Los Angeles, California, and the elementary school that I attended had a a cadet program, and I like the uniforms and the marching, and more than anything, I like the structure. I like knowing what to expect. So fast forward, I joined. Fast forward, I go to high school. I go through Navy Junior ROTC all throughout high school. I graduate. I joined the Air Force. I came in open general, which means I came in without a job per se. On the 16th day of training is where you get your job assigned to you. And essentially, you're given a choice of 8 different AFSCs or Air Force specialty codes. This day, I don't recall choosing photography. So photography, I believe, chose me. So long story short, that is how I got into the photography field. And so there, at the time, there were 2 paths. You could do base level or base support photography, or you could do combat camera, which is a specialty position. I PCS, or I came into combat camera. I got reassigned to combat camera from Germany, and while I was there, I was noticing like there was some amazing imagery, like imagery I'd never seen before. And the people that were doing it, my fellow airmen, they were like superheroes to me. And I'd watch them coming in and out of the door, like a revolving door. And it was always exciting. It was always like this last minute notification, we got a job in Djibouti, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I want that. I want that life. I want to do that. I want to be that.
Yeah.
Well, I started looking around and I realized, I was like, well, at the time, there weren't very many Black people doing this in our unit, and there weren't any Black women. And I was like, oh, I want that. I want that. I want to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So to become a combat photojournalist is a competitive process.
Mm-hmm.
And you submit a portfolio along with all of your administrative requirements. And if selected, you attend Syracuse University for 1 full school year. You're still on activity, but you're learning photojournalism, basically 4 years crammed into one. And the first time I submitted, I didn't get accepted.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't take that well. So I spent the next year site focused on, I'm going to get accepted. So I would go to work all day, and I was doing a story that I was submitting at night. So I'd work all day, come home, sleep for a couple hours, wake up, go to the flight line where all the aircraft were, and photograph a story there. So that was one of the stories that got me into Syracuse, into the military photojournalism program.
Wow.
So I really worked for this. I really wanted this, And at the time we were filmed. So I would shoot most of the night, and then I'd come home and I'd process and print in my bathtub, in my bathroom, to put my portfolio together.
Okay, pause.
So it was an exciting time.
I want you to pause for a minute, because you said you would process and print in your bathtub. And I think that I don't want that to go by on people's ears, because that was a time when developing photos meant that you had to be in a dark room and you needed liquid back in the day, like what we see in old films today. Yeah. So that's okay. You just need to just talk on that a little bit before you continue on.
Oh yeah. I'm just saying, I'm old school like a record player. I cut my teeth on film.
Yeah.
I cut my teeth in photography on film. So that was how we learned.
Yeah.
There was no automation. You had to learn everything manually. And that for me, that's where the love affair began, right? Because in a lot of ways, it's like, for me, photography is magic and mystery. It's magic of seeing an idea, concept come to fruition, become a part of reality. Mm-hmm. It's a mystery in figuring out exactly how you're going to do that. The technical aspects of it, exactly what show motion do I want, to stop motion, what f-stop do I want to use? Do I need shallow depth of field, or do?
Oh gosh, technology. Okay, we can hear you now. Yes, go ahead. You kind of went out for just a minute. Oh. Yeah, but if you do go out, Lisa, just, you know how to come back in, but I just want to say that, but we lost you with, do I do definition? What type of emotion? So continue on in what you were saying.
Fantastic. Thank you for bearing with me, everyone. But the mystery of it is just figuring out how you got it all together. And there's so
Yeah.
many elements that come into play with photography. Even today with digital photography,
Hmm.
yeah, the cameras are really advanced and they do a lot. You still have to think. And I like that I'm in a career field that I've been in for 30 plus years and I'm still not bored with it,
Wow, that's
right?
awesome. Yeah.
I'm yeah, it still surprises me. I still go, wow, I did it, you know,
Yeah.
or I'm like I'm a little kid, so all of this makes me giddy, right?
Yeah.
And the giddiness rises to an infinite level when I'm doing it for someone,
Yeah.
when I'm helping someone see themselves, right? My business name, my portrait business name is simply Z Imagery, and the tagline is capturing the you that you wish you were that you didn't know you already are.
Ah,
Right?
yeah.
We're so hard on
Yeah.
ourselves, and I believe, you know, our friends, our family, our loved ones, and now your photographer serve as your mirror, as your reflection to remind you just of how amazing, beautiful, wonderful, captivating that you are.
Hmm.
And that also translates now into my fine art photography. And I want to back up and say that I didn't create this fine art work and business because of COVID. COVID was just a coincidence. I didn't even know we were going into quarantine when I was like, you know what? This is what I'm going to do.
Hmm.
Because on that day, I not only made the decision to create differently, I decided to live differently and eat differently and
Hmm.
care for myself differently. And
Hmm.
for me, photography is my healing. Photography is my therapy. As someone with a chronic condition, a chronic illness, one of which that I deal with is fibromyalgia, it has severely limited the way that I live my life. And more importantly, I how I approach my craft, my love.
Hmm.
So now I have to figure out different ways to do what I do, which actually probably is in alignment with where I am in life because now at this stage in life, it's time for me to be a teacher,
Mm,
right?
yeah.
To be a sage, to be a wisdom provider, to be a waymaker. And
Yes.
so I'm okay with my limited capacities physically because I know that my brain and my eye, my third eye are sharp.
Indeed.
No problem
And
there.
I mean, I would just want to say how encouraging that is for people, for anybody who's listening or who will watch this and see that, people are like, because when I look at you, and I'm sure when people look at you, they don't see what you just said, right? Because the illness that you carry, the burden that you carry in dealing with your illness is not physically displayed. I see this vibrant, amazing, energetic. I can't tell that you might be in pain right now. I would never know.
I am in a lot of pain right
And
now,
I would
and I'm very fatigued.
You see, and that's the thing, Lisa. And ever since I've known you, like I've not seen this pain that you talk. I'm like, girl, I see you working out. I see you smile. I see that beautiful smile. I see your work. I'm like, this woman. So for me, and this is why I wanted to talk to you, you are a real shero. Like you're one of my sheroes because
Oh,
in spite of everything that you're dealing with, you go on, you smile, you pivot, create a new business, you keep working, you share your gifts with other people. That, girl, I'm just waiting on the book. I know you're going to do a book.
I know people keep all my life. People have been saying the book, and someday the right mentor will come along and drag you, not drag me, but lead me through the process.
Yes.
But you know, it's everything is a choice, and when I realized that I was always going to be in some sort of pain and discomfort and dis-ease, no, strike that. I'm gonna reframe that. I know that I'm going to have to manage something with caring for my body.
Mm,
I had a small, quick breakdown, and I was like, you know what? This is a choice, and I choose for it not to lead or control me or define me. And I choose
yeah.
happiness. Happiness doesn't happen. It is a choice,
True.
and it's also internally generated. And so one thing I will say that COVID helped re to confirm for me is that I'm very certain about the things that make me happy.
Mm,
And I'm going to throw in fibromyalgia help me figure that out too.
okay.
If I have these two things present in my life, I'm all right. It doesn't matter what's going on, I can make it.
Yes.
And that is fitness and that is photography. If I can move my body and if I can make some moving images, my life is good.
Yes.
my life is good. So
Yes.
in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't really matter how I feel. It matters what I do.
Yes.
It matters how I be, right?
Yes.
So I tell myself, I tell my body, I tell myself, no, not today. And there are some days, some weeks, sometimes months that I have to really, really slow things down and really just listen to my body and let it
Yeah.
give it what it needs.
Yeah.
But know that when I'm up, oh, I'm up and I'm making stuff happen. You know,
Girl.
oftentimes I've been a lot of days where I spend in bed just because I'm just too fatigued to get up or too in pain. And
Mm.
then when I have a small reprieve from that experience, I'll shuffle on over to my camera here in my little studio and I'll create something.
Yeah.
Oftentimes, a lot of the selfies that you see in my social media
Yeah.
feeds, it's not about, ooh, I look cute or anything like that.
Yeah.
It's really me trying to remind myself that I'm still me, despite how I feel. I'm still me despite the pain.
Yeah.
I'm still me despite the fatigue and the brain fog and all of that. I'm still me. And so that's why I photograph me to remind me that I am the me that I wish I was, that I didn't realize that I was already, you know?
Ah, so beautifully said, Lisa. I know that your message, not only your words, just your life, your testimony, everything you just shared, it just resonates. It resonates so deeply.
Oh,
It really resonates with me. People ask me, how do you do? I'm like, y'all don't know the people I know. Like this, and
right?
this is why I wanted to just share you with others because I believe you're a gift and gifts are meant to be shared. Yes, and people should
Oh,
know. Yes, people should know you. And I know, like on social media, anybody here on IG, if you're on watching this in the replay or even now with us, please go follow Lisa. Go check her out. I call her ZZ, but Lisa, please share the professional pages you would want everyone to follow you on and just any information so that people can find out more about you, can follow you, can support your work. If you're looking for a
oh,
photographer for anything at all, please check out. You will not be disappointed. In fact, like, I'm just biased. I'm just like, my girl is dope. Whatever. Y'all need to talk to Lisa. So please share your information that you want people to go away with. And because I want to relieve you, I don't want to hold you. And I know you're not feeling your best. You were with me this morning and celebrating my dad, and I so appreciate that.
oh,
Yeah, just
I wouldn't be anywhere else.
yeah, that was a beautiful thing. Quick story before you share that, when you met my dad, remember he introduced himself as, oh gosh, it looks like internet is freezing. He introduced himself to Lisa.
No.
Oh, don't go away, right? But if you do, come back. He introduced himself as God. He said, Lisa was like, so what should I call you? I said, Lisa, this is my dad. She's
Yeah.
like, and she's like, so what should I call you? And he's like, just call me God. And she's always called him God ever since then.
And I
Yes,
do. And I
yes.
did.
So they have a special relationship as well. And I see, yes, you have Amplified Whispers Fine Art. That is one. And then Simply Z with two E's, ZEE Imagery. So you can see that there on the screen. Please make sure you go and follow Lisa. You will not be disappointed. Go and support her work. Go just see what she does. Just check her out. She is amazing. You shall not be disappointed. Lisa, I want to say just big thanks
Oh,
for always just showing up no matter what. If there's anybody that I know that shows up no matter what, it's you, right? You will show up.
oh God.
Yes, no matter what. And I do not take that lightly. I really, and I mean, deeply, sincerely appreciate it. Everybody, just doesn't necessarily show up for whatever reason. No judgment. I'm just saying that everybody don't show up.
No,
And you
no.
show
Well,
up. You show up time and time again. So ever since I've known you, you've always, that's been the thing that has resonated most with me. Like this girl, she shows up like in big ways, right? Like just in big way, in small ways too. But I just feel that from you. Like your
oh,
energy is like, you just show up, girl. So I love you for that. I appreciate you for that. I want to
thank
close
you.
and just reminding everybody once again, like, this is my sister, right? My soul sister right here,
I
Lisa.
love you.
Yes.
Yes,
So much love.
yes,
Again,
yes.
we did not plan this. We didn't plan it.
No,
So we're it's like so amazing that I can't even believe that,
I
right?
love this.
That just shows you how connected we are and how energy is.
Because we sisters.
Yeah, because energy is so real.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I just want
Yeah.
to let people know that we are here interviewing, sharing wonderful, beautiful people like Lisa every single Saturday. You just will not go wrong. So I just anybody that I think has anything to do with you, your work, I mean, they will be blessed tremendously and tenfold. So please continue to show up as you do. I thank you so, so much for just taking time to be here today. Even though you didn't feel like it, you came anyway. And for that, I sincerely appreciate it. So we're going to close and let people know we'll be back here again next Saturday. Please join us for our Saturday Soulful Conversations. Spread the word, share with your loved ones.
Tell a friend.
Tell a friend, right? Tell a friend, because that's what we're doing here. Yes, we're building community, right? We're staying connected because, again, this pandemic has done so much to so many, and we are not going to allow a pandemic to break our connections. It's just going to only cause us to go deeper and to build and connect more, right? So
my grandma said, "One monkey don't stop no show."
That's my grandma. Grandma was all that. High fives to grandma.
That's right.
Yes. Yes, yes. Thank you so much. Thank you everyone for joining. Please once again follow Lisa Amplified Whispers Fine Art, or simply the letter Z double E, simply Z Imagery, right? You can find her here on Instagram. I'll be sharing this video. Please share it with your friends. Come back and join us next Saturday. Enjoy the rest of the weekend that's left for this season of giving. And thanks. Today is Small Business Saturday. So if you want to support
it is. Yes, it is.
Go right. Support small business. That's who Lisa is. That's who I have a small business. We have small businesses. Support. Support is a verb, as they say in the village market, right? Isn't support a verb?
Indeed it is.
Support each other, so, right? Even if it's like send a message, hey girl, love your work, something. Give a review, right? It doesn't always feedback. It doesn't always mean you have to.
Feedback is big.
Feedback is huge. It doesn't always mean support doesn't always mean you have to spend money, but let people know if you are able, yes, spend your money, right? We say that. But if you're not able, whatever you can do, send some good energy. That is support too. We appreciate it all. So thank you. Right? Thank you.
Happily accepted.
Yes, happily accepted. Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much, Lisa. I appreciate you. I love you so much, girl. Namaste.
Thank you, sis. I love you.
Yes. Be well. Yes.
Be good to yourselves, everyone. Be good to yourselves.
Yes. Amen. Be good.
Ashe.
Ashe.